So, now I should have audio from the game as well. Buttons on, knobs on the mic itself. No, tried those. Shouldn't affect the game sound. Yes, so what I was, somehow, all of the settings in OBS reset to default instead of going through the Yeti mic, because the mic, you can set it so that the computer thinks that this is a speaker, because you can plug headphones into it, and basically so it thinks that this is the device that is producing the sound. And having my headphones plugged into this instead of into the computer is helpful, because they've only got a certain amount of cable length, but also it helps with latency of sound, I think. And OBS just occasionally decides, fuck it, we're going to go default for no reason, without telling me. I think it might have happened to me twice, to OBS muting me somehow. Silly OBS. Yeah, OBS is kind of a pain. I mean, it does all of the things that it does, and they do it for free, which is nice. But what would be even nicer is if
you are cleared for the following travel routes.
The sound didn't get reset at random. I think, well, it happens when Windows updates. And I don't think that that's happened on this PC since I last played, so I don't know why. But even if that was the case, I don't know why OBS defaults when there's any change to the operating system. That just sounds like unnecessary bollocks. But thank you for pointing that out. If you hadn't said anything, I would have not known and probably gone through the whole stream. Unless someone else had turned up later and said something. I probably would have gone through the whole stream on mute. Yes, I'm glad you're here. Aside from any help that you may have provided with pointing out the sound wasn't working, I'm just glad that you're here. I spent some time exploring Hoth and finding everywhere. I think the reason... So this would lead down to here, which is a zone on its own. I think the reason that it doesn't have an arrow like this to take you between map areas is because this this zone is Imperial only, because this is a contested planet. So I can navigate through... Oh no, I can't navigate from here. That doesn't make sense, because this zone, which leads... never mind. This is a zone which is where I was looking at, and this is a zone. And there should be a little arrow that leads between the two of them. But there was one missing, even though this is a Republic zone. Anyway, never mind that. We're here to beat up pirates. So that's what we'll do. Oh, and Sith. There's some Sith down here, making a nuisance of themselves, as Sith are wont to do. But the first place to go to is here, I think. Fond Crystal Formation. I'm not that fond of it. I wonder whether this stuff, this ship graveyard gets covered over by the time that the films happen, because in the timeline of Star Wars universe, this game happens about 3,000 years before the films. So quite a long time, and long enough, I think, for all of this to get covered over with ice, assuming that nobody comes along and digs it out in between times. Can't see the detail of that. Watch out for snakes, Sith. Yes. The little emote is really, really tiny. No, wait, that's an insult to snakes. Yeah. Unfortunately. Snakes are lovely. Little danger noodles. Sith are not. By any stretch. Yeah, most snakes are fine. I haven't really interacted with that many snakes. And the ones that I have been constrictors, unsurprisingly, because they're way safer for people to interact with if they've got, particularly if they've got no experience with snakes and snake handling, because an upset constrictor may bite you, and that's kind of bad, but it doesn't have venom. Oh, I got there before me. I think I may have won back the priority on these guys. Oh, never mind, whatever. Okay, you can have them, it's fine. Baby garter snakes are super cute. Most baby snakes are super cute. Tiny snakes are super cute as well. Really, really small ones. What's this objective? Ah, right. Parts. Cannon parts. So... acquire the second Null Cannon part. But that's not here. Is it below us? Oops, damn it! Ugh. Well, that was an accident. In the moments whilst I was falling, I was like, is there anything I can do? I mean, I've got shields, but I don't think that they would have blocked enough damage. And I don't know whether falling damage trumps all other types of damage and just gets through force fields and stuff. Maybe anything acute until they get loud and annoying. Yeah. I mean, I imagine... No, hold on. There are some baby birds that look quite ugly. That have just hatched and are just kind of naked. They're quite horrid. I don't imagine that baby hagfish are terribly pleasant to look upon, because hagfish are not terribly pleasant to look upon either. There's a wide variety of baby creatures that actually aren't very nice to look at. I don't think that baby insects are terribly nice to look at. But yes, for the most part, I agree with you. Particularly most baby mammals or baby reptiles. So where the hell is that Null Cannon part then? It's not down here. Oh! I think it was that tubular object that was baby ducks. Baby ducks are fine. Some baby birds are fine because they're fluffy right out of the egg. Like chicken babies and ducklings. They're all fine. But there are some, like baby crows, which are not. Yeah, there we go. No cannon power coupling. So that other player, whilst I was engaging the person here in combat, was like, I'll have that. Nicked this and fucked off, which... rude. I think that's bad player etiquette. Do I still need to be in here? Yes. There's another thing down here. What's that? Pirate computer, alright. I'll just bypass these defenses by going around.
The Force was with us, Admiral. The power core is secure, and I've got a data pad with the location of the pirate base.
You made quick work of that motherless space trash. Well done. Now our troops can take the fight to them.
I hate to interrupt, but the data suggests these components were from the ancillary, not main power core. That's bad.
We still kept part of the Null Cannon out of the pirates' hands. Can't be catastrophic.
Worst case scenario? The pirates already have enough of the weapon to make it operational.
You'll have to go into their base after it. Hit those sons of Hutts before they know we're coming.
I don't think that that's how weapons engineering works. But I don't know enough to gainsay. Also, you could just ask me to go in and beat up more pirates. I'm always down to do that.
Do we know anything about the pirates or their operations that I can use?
That data pad puts the pirate base inside a huge system of ice caverns not far from here.
Half the scum in the galaxy will be in there. Chief Engineer Aram and a squad of Tals will be on your heels. Once the pirates are down, Aram will secure the Null Cannon for transport. It'll be the mother of all fights. Good luck.
Half the scum in the galaxy. That's a lot of scum. I think he's exaggerating. Being hyperbolic. Something is telling me not sure where that is. Oh, it's here, okay. So let's do this and work our way down. Oh no, those are the same objectives. All right. I don't need to go north and do that then. A shop at which I can sell some junk that I have accrued. Very exciting.
Stand by for examination and suggested product. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
I've got no idea what these terminals I've got to disable will look like. That's going to be one, isn't it? White Fang Nasher. Why is it? White Fang Nashers. I suppose in the 3,000 years between now and the films, the Nashers of Hoth could have all died out, or maybe the region in which, on Hoth, in which the rebels of the films made their base, was not a region in which those quadrupeds hang out. So we see Wampa and we see Tauntaun. We don't see any of those sort of cat-like creatures. Is this a terminal? Yes, it is. All right. Which, I mean, from one perspective, the perspective of a Doyleist perspective, it makes sense that you wouldn't see any of those quadrupedal predators in the films, because the game was made way after the films came out, so they hadn't been invented yet. But I prefer coming up with Watsonian explanations, in-universe explanations. So, I mean, it is 3,000 years. That's plenty of time for a species to die out. Outcompeted by Wampa. Although, what does anything on this planet eat? Like, presumably Tauntaun are the prey species, because they look like fluffy kangaroos. And they don't look or behave anything like predator species. So presumably Tauntaun are the prey species, and then Wampa as a predator species. And the quadrupedal thingamies, the names of which I've already forgotten, are another type of predator. But what food are the Tauntaun eating? Tactical roll there from Kaizen. Nice work, Kaizen. Always worthwhile to do a tactical roll. Because there's no vegetation unless there's some kind of frost-resistant algae growing in the surface snow that the Tauntaun eat. Like in the films, I assumed that the Tauntaun had been brought to Hoth from somewhere else, although, and as such were being cared for by, you know, by the people that brought them there. But even if that were the case, it wouldn't explain the presence of Wampa or their ecology. I mean, clearly the Wampa in the film ate a Tauntaun, but that doesn't explain why there is a Wampa on an ice planet in the first place. Was it always an ice planet? Did it drift further away from its sun? No, let's do this first and then work our way up, shall we? It feels awkward to do the middle one and then do the one on the right and then the left, or, you know, left or right, you know. I mean, yes, this is some kind of bioanalysis requiring alien contagion fiber. It looks a bit like a bush, but I feel like this is only present in the game so that people with bioanalysis have a node that they can interact with for crafting purposes. And also, it's called a contagion fiber. I don't think that represents any useful food matter. Yeah, alright, let's have this scrap then, shall we? Don't really have a good way out of it by continuing. And let's deal with these guys. What are you? Fond crystal formation, okay. Yeah, I'm afraid I can't see. I can see that there are... Oh, yes. Positive vibes. Okay. And those are silhouettes of the characters from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Ooh, there's two of them. I know that the mantra of MST3K is don't take it too seriously, but I want to. I want to examine this. And MST3K is only, I feel like that mantra is really only for the absolute nonsense B-movie stuff. Gifted a sub there. Oh, cool. Oh, there's two of them this time. You know, it's interesting, when I was exploring the planet, and I came down here to find this place, I rode along the sides here, around behind this guy who was in the middle, and neither of these two with the idiots with their pole sabers, or double-ended sabers, or whatever they are, neither of them showed up. Neither of them came out and had a go at me. Almost as if they weren't actually there. Sometimes taking things seriously and asking questions can be fun. It's basically my modus operandi. My MO is overthinking things. And trying to find humour there. No, go away. I'm not here. Kaizen! Kaizen, do something! He wants to have a go as well. Despite watching me decimate... Not decimate, decimate's the wrong word. Destroy two of his allies. He's like, nope, I can sort them out. Yes, 2 will appear. There we go. I feel like they're easier to deal with than one silver enemy, because individually they've got less health, and they do less damage. So I actually came across. I was wandering around on TV tropes, which I know is a dangerous proposition. But I came across do all the Sith live in that one hut? Do you suppose? Because we've defeated like 2, 5, probably about 10 or 12 Sith on our way in, and there's 3 more here. And there's just the one hut. I mean, even if there are more huts, and we just haven't seen them yet, that's still awfully crowded. Sith Ambusher hanging out in the middle of sun-washed snow. This Sith, he's really good at ambushes, he is. Go away. This is a snow stalker, because it's really difficult to stalk snow. No Jabba the Hutt, because he probably wouldn't be alive yet. No, I don't imagine that Jabba the Hutt is alive. You do meet other Hutt, H-U-T-T, the species. You interact with several during the course of this archetype story, and I imagine that you interact with more during other character stories. But yeah, I don't think that Hutts live 3,000 plus years. Also, it seems Jabba would like warmer weather. Yeah, I don't know much about Hutt biology, but I think they're reptilian. So I think that you would typically not find Hutts on ice planets. Killed him. Was it these guys? Possibly. I don't think that he was dealt enough damage over the course of the fight against me and Kaizen to bring him down just on its own. At least this Sith Ambusher is in shadow. Oh no, hold on, he's a champion. Oh yes, I was talking about TV tropes. As I was wandering TV tropes, I came across a counter saying to the MST3K "Don't take it too seriously." I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was basically talking about some people in debates online use "Don't take it too seriously" as a way of avoiding criticism. When a thing actually does deserve to be criticized, or like looked at critically, which is not the same thing as criticized. And saying of something that doesn't make sense in fiction, or don't take it seriously, is weaseling out of trying to weasel out of explaining something. Like, stories have to have internal consistency, otherwise people won't suspend their disbelief. And it's a small matter, but how Hoth has any indigenous life is, I think, a legitimate question. Like, if it's an entirely icebound world, how does anything live? What does the ecology of the world look like? You've placed life forms on it that are apparently are native to it, or at least can survive here without human intervention. Or maybe not human intervention, but without intervention. This is kind of bad. Both of us got controlled. And all three of them are elites. Were. Will Kaizen last? Wow, that's kind of a problematic control ability, isn't it? Maybe it didn't last that time because the controller, the user, died. But if they used it as an excuse to keep making jokes at the expense of minorities, that would be very much a not at all good reason to use it. Yeah. Or also, like, trying to escape from plot holes. Your world having internal consistency. No, go away! Interesting that this Sith Overlord has a yellow lightsaber. You don't typically see on Cerro. Maybe I should deal with Snow Stalker first, just to get the source of damage out of the way. go. Still need one Sith. It's not specifically Sith, is it? It's just stealth field generator. Which is probably why those dudes decloak and appear before us. So hopefully, if this one has a friend... No, it doesn't look like he does. Maybe he'll have a stealth field anyway, even though he wasn't using it when we came across him. Oh, he does. Okay, so he just decided not to be using it. Congratulations on a successful op. Hoth will be a safer place without those Sith skulking about. Indeed. Okay, so that's a patrolling dude, which I don't think that we really want to engage alongside 4 others. Another of whom is a strong enemy. That sounds like a bad time. I'm sure I told it to use that ability, but it didn't go off. Weird. I don't have to fight my way out. It would probably be easier. Well, it would make life easier if I simply shuttled out to here. But then I'd have to travel all the way back over for these, which I don't feel like doing. So we're gonna fight our way out instead. And the corridors here aren't wide enough for me to use my jet bike to mount up and run away. Once I get past these guys, I should be able to do that though. Hopefully I can, maybe I can get past him without him noticing. If I stand up here. Ah, fuck off. Sure that was worthwhile of him then. Hey. Yeah, see, if you attack him, a dude will appear here and a dude will appear over here. But if you leave him alone, can I get past this guy? Doesn't matter. Oh, yes it does. Okay, well, Sorted. What are we doing next? I don't think it's Null Cannon, is it? Oh, yes, it is. Okay. The Null Cannon, for those of you following along at home, is a device which turns off or destroys electronics without hurting people. So apparently it's a super good weapon. Although I don't know how that's supposed to save lives on ships, because if you destroy the bits on a ship, like if you destroy the electronics on a ship, some of which include things like life support, I don't know how that avoids the deaths of the crew. Because the crew kind of need life support. If they're not to die. But regardless, seems like it's a useful tactical weapon, and for some reason the prototype ended up on Hoth, so we're trying to recover it. So I have played Psychonauts 2 recently, and it was a very pleasant experience. A very enjoyable experience, but I was kind of disappointed by the length of the game. It felt like there was less game in Psychonauts 2 than there was in Psychonauts. I can't verify this because I then tried to play Psychonauts 1 and the experience was unbearable because something about the way that the video was, the visuals were being presented, gave me an awful headache very quickly. I could probably play around with the frame rate or something if Psychonauts 1 has a frame rate setting and give it another shot, but when I tried to do it yesterday or the day before, Psychonauts 1 was not something I felt like I could subject myself to. But my memory of Psychonauts 1 is that it was a longer game. I think there were more mines in Psychonauts 1 than 2. I don't think that I ever 100%ed Psychonauts. I have 100%ed Psychonauts 2, although that is with the help of... Hi, where did this guy come from? Was he a patrol? I did use videos of other people playing Psychonauts to find everything, because there are a few places where figments are tucked away in almost impossible to find locations. I mean, obviously they're not actually impossible, but devious locations that are not obvious at all. I don't have every achievement in Psychonauts 2, but that's because one of them isn't working for me for some reason, and another I just can't be bothered. Maybe that's partly why I didn't like Psychonauts when I played it. Yeah, so Psychonauts 1, the platforming's not great. Psychonauts 2, the platforming is way better. Having just recently played both within the last week, Psychonauts 2, the platforming is way better. It's more accurate. It's still difficult because the art style distorts the size of things to exaggerate. So actually getting your character to land on a platform is tricky because you can't accurately... I found it difficult myself to accurately judge the size and therefore the distance of the object. That said, it wasn't super hard. I managed it in about 30 hours, and that's spending extra time in every mine to scour it for figments and so on, and other collectibles. So you could probably complete it in 20-25 hours, which for a game that's 45 quid plus VAT, so about 50 quid, isn't a lot of gameplay, which is why I'm kind of disappointed in Psychonauts 2 for the price. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't checked Psychonauts 1 to see whether there is a frame rate setting that I can change, but hopefully there is, and I can, and in doing so, I make the game one that I can stand to look at again. I mean, obviously, I managed it when I first played it, when it came out. Maybe it wasn't quite when it came out, but definitely in like 05, 06, 07 sort of time. I played some of it in 2015 because that's when Steam says I played it last, and I played up to getting into the asylum. If anyone is familiar with the progression of Psychonauts 1, you work your way through a lake, through the bottom of a lake, and then out to a small island that is an asylum, and there are three people. There's a guard called Boyd, whose mind you need to sort out before you can get into the asylum, and then there's an actress, a guy who's a descendant of Bonaparte, and a guy who paints on black velvet. Really, really huge guy. And I've got achievements for the actress's mind, which means that I played up to that point in 2015. But I don't remember whether that's halfway or a third. It's not all the way by any stretch. So Yeah, I don't remember how far I got. Or how long it took. I can't remember where I was going with this. The point evaporated as I was making my way towards it. Always annoying. Even aside from my difficulty looking at the game, as I said, it's not a great platformer. The controls, certainly the camera, seems to be kind of unfriendly to the player in Psychonauts 1. It drifts around. It doesn't like following the character properly. Like, I'd need to replay it and really think about how to describe why I don't like the camera, but suffice to say that I don't. I don't think it's a good camera. And I think that the Psychonauts 2 camera is better. Other than its shortness, I really enjoyed Psychonauts 2. The music is fantastic, but that's to be expected from a Double Fine game. It's got Jack Black in it, and Elijah Wood apparently as well, which surprised me. I didn't recognize his voice. Apparently we have a conversation to have with Captain Cerro before we beat the tar out of him.
Hold on there, Master Jedi. Put down the lightsaber and let's talk for a moment.
Where are you going with this? Are you trying to buy time?
Nobody else in this place has wanted to stop and chat?
My crew is a bit, overeager at times. I'll speak to them about it, I assure you. The survivors, anyway. It so happens that I can give you what you came for without any more of that unpleasant killing business. You want the Republic's superweapon? Look around you. This hangar is filled with copies of it. One for every ship in our fleet.
How is such a thing even possible?
The Republic doesn't have a monopoly on clever engineers. I propose a trade. You leave here with the weapons, and we leave here with our lives. That's fair, don't you think?
Let's talk details. How do we know you'll hand over all the weapons?
We can arrange for...
Reinforcements have arrived!
I see. Stalling until your people were ready to attack.
RM, your timing stinks.
We can still negotiate. No one has to get hurt.
Don't bother lying. I'm not a fool. Don't think we'll go quietly.
Fantastic. It's not great that that's how things went, but on the other hand, they are still pirates. And they'll probably still have... I mean, they've built copies of the weapon. They probably still have blueprints for it. Or at least they still have the engineers who were capable of working out. how it worked. Oh well. Apparently these are the super weapon. They certainly have a bunch of them. Wonder how they tested them to make sure that they did actually work. Sure they would have noticed. Oh well.
So that could have gone better.
It couldn't have gone worse unless the planet exploded in a massive fireball.
At least we'd be warm for that fraction of a second before we all died. I'd better call in and report.
Aram, that you? Heavy fire. It's a lot of interference. What status?
Sir, we have the Null Cannon, but there's been a complication.
What was the... Breaking up? Secure for immediate...
Blast it! I can't get the signal back. Now what do we do?
We were sent in here for the Null Cannon, and now we get it out of here.
We were sent here for one Null Cannon. Singular. Not dozens. The forces we have can just about hold this hangar long enough to get the prototype out of here, but the rest of these copies... The other pirates will get here soon, and once they have a weapon that can disable a capital ship, how many innocent people will die?
Alright, so blow all the weapons up.
I don't even want to think about pirates armed with Null Cannons.
Neither do I. The only way to keep the copies out of the pirates' hands is to overload the Null Cannon prototype. Wipe out everything in the hangar at once. The prototype would be fried, but I'd rather spend months fixing it than live knowing that even one of these copies was left behind.
That is a false dichotomy. You could remove one of the prototypes and then overload one of the others. And then the others would be destroyed while the one that you removed would not. There we go, problem solved.
You're right. We can't let even one of these copies fall into the wrong hands.
Stand back. That should do it. I'll go ahead and get the transport ready. I'll see you back at camp.
It's good to be able to fast forward through hologram messages. I don't think he was fast forwarding, you know? I think that was supposed to be live. But it would be nice if you could fast forward through, like, voicemail messages. I've seen ice stalactites cut men in half. Sounds like a bad time. Thanks for the warning. So the Null Cannon story arc will have a denouement in the Outpost with oh yeah, Outpost Zarek Command Bunker. I thought maybe Zarek was a person's name. Part of me is wondering whether the reason I was able to play through Psychonauts 6 years ago and the first time is because I was playing it on smaller monitors at the time, or on those occasions. So the first time I played Psychonauts, it was on the original Xbox, and I was playing on perhaps, what sort of size is it? Perhaps a 12-inch CRT screen, like an old TV. It was basically that I'd plugged the Xbox into. So the graphics quality, understandably, pretty low. And even the following time, when I was playing in 15, I was playing on a laptop screen, which would have been maybe 16 inches, but more, the ratio was narrower, it was squished. But this monitor I'm on at the moment is 2 foot, maybe 24 inches. So way bigger. And I'm wondering whether the screen size... Oh no, hold on, because I played games on my old laptop screen that messed with my eyes and made me feel dizzy and nauseous. It wasn't the screen size that allowed me to play as much of Psychonauts as I did in 15. So either I was able to power through and play it in small bursts, or I found a way at the time to alter the frame rate to improve the experience, or something else has changed. My sensitivity to games has worsened, so that games I used to be able to play without issue are now causing problems. I don't like that idea, but it is a possibility. I have, in the last 6 years, aged. It may surprise you to learn. It is a thing that happens to people occasionally. And I've certainly aged since 2005. Or whenever it was that I first played Psychonauts. Get dizzy more easily than when I was 20. Yeah. I mean, I've always had a problem with dizziness. I think I've got an inner ear problem that makes it so that if I go on anything that spins me, like I tried once to go on a merry-go-round, and it was a really bad experience. I get seasick and otherwise travel sick very, very easily. My balance, my sense of balance is okay, I think, but stuff makes me dizzy really, really easily, and it's no fun. So who else has got phases here? Trooper. I assume that there's a phase further in, up here. Maybe those are also phases. Yeah, there we go. Smuggler phase and Jedi Knight phase. So we are here chasing the legend. Yeah. Star of Coruscant crew quarters chasing of the legend. Because there's a guy who has armor that can heal him from almost any injury. He doesn't wear a helmet, and I don't know whether the armor can heal him from head trauma, particularly brain damage. And I really doubt that it could heal him if you just took off a section of his head. But so far that hasn't happened, because our character doesn't aim for the head, apparently. Doesn't take Thanos' advice. Which is good advice, by the way. If you're in a fight to the death, go for the head. If you can. Particularly, I mean, in Thanos' case, he wasn't even wearing a helmet. It would have made way more sense to go for Thanos' head. Anyway. In general, go for the head if you're in a life and death fight, which my character generally is. And so, like how they used to drill into the skull for headaches. That's trepanning, and it wasn't just for headaches. It was real bad. But a lot of prehistoric, well, I say prehistoric, I mean trepanning took place. They used trepanning in the Middle Ages in Europe, so yeah, never mind. Anyway, a lot of civilizations around the world have made holes in people's skulls for various reasons. There's Stone Age skulls from South America, I think, where they drilled holes into people's heads. And apparently the people lived after that because the edges of the holes had healing evidence. Anyway, that's a whole different thing. I was talking about the guy that we're here for. So there's a guy who has healing armor. Not the armor heals itself, it heals him. Which makes killing him difficult. But apparently it can be overloaded. If you do too much damage to him too quickly, the armor won't be able to keep up and will fail. I don't know why you don't deal fatal damage to him and then strip the armor off him now that we know this information. Or, as I was saying, go for the head. But here we are. Apparently the game doesn't want its characters to brain people. So what he's planning on doing is powering up this ship on which we are aboard and flying it off the surface of Hoth and turning it into a pirate ship. Quite what the other three archetypes have to do on this ship. At the same time, I don't know. I guess I'll just have to play the game more as a trooper and a knight and a smuggler, and get to Hoth, get to at least level 40 or whatever.
That's far enough, Jedi. The pirate Valon is ours. And so is that armor he borrowed.
I heard that Valon took the armor from under the Empire's nose.
It was a loan. The armor made him the perfect weapon to attack the Republic and your little coalition. Unfortunately, Valon's becoming a nuisance. He needs to be put down. We're taking that armor back if we have to rip it off Valon's body. You're not in any position to stop us.
False. You're within conversation distance with a Jedi, it's already too late. Particularly this Jedi. How do I get in? I wasn't supposed to fail there, was I, or something? Oh no, it's this. That makes more sense than trying to get in through here. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention to the minimap. Oh, cool. I can get all 4 of them. Why is there snow here? Is that... Oh, there's a hole in the ship. In the hull. That seems like a bad idea to take off with. Like... That's quite a large hole in the hull. Taking off and going into space with a hole that size... I mean, I suppose you can... There are bulkheads. You can close the doors. But there are people in this area of the ship. So there's that door, and there's a door here, obviously, because it's the same shape of stuff. So you could close this room off, if necessary. But this is clearly like a living area for the ship. There's loads of bunks here. Seems like it would be better to repair the ship before you take off. You know, enough that the living quarters aren't exposed to the vacuum of space. Unless they're all planning on... living in the engine room or something. Don't know why these guys are hanging out by that door. There's not really much point in coming out here beating these guys. They're not in the way or anything, but might as well. Since we're here. Hurrah! I don't think I can clear that jump though. Even with... No, it doesn't like me jumping whilst I've got sprint on. But the heck's Kyron? Kaizen? Oh, now you've turned up. Thanks. Oh, reconnecting to chat. Thanks, app. That's really helpful. How's the connection? Unstable. Cool. Okay, that's stabilized. Have we reconnected? Reconnecting. Okay, so you are reacting. Good. These look like beds from above, but are they? Yes. Okay. Okay, maybe it is okay if you leave this section of the ship exposed to the vacuum of space by the holes in the roof. Maybe that doesn't have much of an effect because there are other places to sleep. But still, like, I'll show you once we get outside again, but this ship is fucking enormous, and I really struggle to see how a crew of pirates that you assemble from surface forces could crew a ship this size. Even skeleton crew, even with sections of the ship unavailable. Nope, that's a hole in the hull. That's a big old hole in the hull. That obviously was blown in because these are pieces of metal that are folded inwards, but what was it that came in through that hole? Was it a slab of ice? Like a big chunk of ice? Because what we've got is snow. But not a big, sharp, hard object. Or holes in the hull. You guys, you really can't take off with this ship in this state. You can't. You have to repair it unless you're going to stay in Atmo, in which case you're going to be, I imagine, using a whole lot more of the ship's power to maintain altitude within the atmosphere. As compared with simply hanging in orbit. Like, this is this. We are presumably within... Oh no, this doesn't look like it's an engine room, does it? This is still crew quarters. But if this is not the location from which Valen intends to launch the ship, and it is actually feasible to launch the ship, why is he here? As opposed to, you know, the engine room or the bridge. Or a command bridge, not necessarily the the primary bridge. Wow, oh boy. I used the force to set some people on fire. With a hydraulic line? A fuel line? Oh boy, I should probably put that out. That seems like a bad thing to leave. Because it would only take the fire getting inside the pipeline to cause probably quite a big explosion on the ship. Leaving that alone, well, I mean, maybe I don't actually care. Maybe I'm fine with the ship getting damaged internally by leaving that. But, like, I don't want to be on board the ship when it happens, I think.
They're stubborn, Valen. But when the flagship is ready, the rest of the White Maw will follow. Who's that?
Someone who can't take a hint. I was hoping you'd be here for this. See? Some in the White Maw see that I'm the future. When this ship is raised, I'll have a whole planet of followers.
You're no pirate lord. You're just a thief with a set of healing armor.
Who wiped out dozens of your soldiers. The White Maw is mine, along with this ship. When she takes to the sky, the Outer Rim's gonna tremble before... What the...
Nice, Valen.
No, you can't do this. I'm untouchable. Even death can't take me.
This blind faith in your armor has poisoned your mind. It's not too late to save yourself.
You're the one who needs saving. You're finished, Jedi.
The other guy... Yeah, he's half back. Can't say that's a great idea, friend. Yep, even during combat, he doesn't wear a helmet. Like, it's possible, or I was thinking before that it would be possible that during cutscenes and whilst he's standing about as an NPC, he might have a helmet off, but during a fight, he might suddenly have a helmet on. But no, he is entirely helmetless the whole time. So quite why we don't smash him over the head.
It's gone. You broke...
That's music to my ears. Hello, Valan. I've been waiting for this since we buried Antilles.
Just hold on, Jedi. I got a deal for you. Hear me out.
Where's this going?
You're hardly in a position to try anything. Speak.
Your Rift Alliance needs help, right? I got men, ships, equipment. I could attack the Empire's trade routes for you.
You had better be joking.
The armor's broken, but you get the pick of what I got left. You can have my oath right now.
Nope. Justice.
You must answer for the men you killed.
And that means you finally get to enjoy some Republic hospitality, Valon. Thank you, Jedi, for everything. Meet us back at the Republic base. We'll get our guest where he belongs.
I wonder what Kaizen would have approved of. Maybe the other light-sided option? Or, maybe agreeing? Interesting that that wasn't a dark side option. I don't know, maybe the other archetypes can't face Valen as well, otherwise they'd be fighting him here. I mean, I imagine that the other archetypes have other things to do aboard the ship, like stop it from taking off, sabotage the engines. That kind of thing. But I can't really guess what. I mean, I realise that the place, everywhere that we can explore on board this ship is full of people. But when we get outside, I'll show you just how big this ship is. Kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, all of this is one ship. But looking at the map doesn't really give you a good idea because it's not like coloured or anything. It doesn't give you a sense of the scale, I think. Yeah, this, what we were just inside of here, all of that is more of the ship. I don't know what the crew requirements were when it was actually in service, but I really do not believe that the number of people we encounter inside, plus however many others you can find from pirates on the surface, are sufficient to adequately crew that dreadnought. Was it dreadnought? Whatever class of ship it's called, referred to as in the game. Like, that is too much ship for so few people. And it's not just crewing it, it's getting it into a serviceable condition. Like, all of this ice would have to come off, and I mean, maybe you could do that by just getting it close to a sun and having it evaporate off. Bigger than a Death Star? Like an aircraft carrier, but not a sea ship. No, it's definitely not bigger than a Death Star. The Death Star was the size of a small moon. Like, it's probably the size of Pluto or something. But not for tons of cargo either, I'm guessing. No, this is a warship. This is definitely not a cargo ship. This is for shooting other ships. Like, this is where we are, and all of this, plus presumably more on the other side and up here, maybe south as well. All of that is ship, and it's not in a space-worthy condition as it is at the moment, because there's loads of holes in the hull, as we saw when we were inside. Like, we were in the guts of the ship, basically. We were down here, buggering about in this sort of area, and there was holes in the ceiling that were letting in snow. So presumably those holes have to go all the way through down to about here from above. So just how much of it is actually functional, like, even if you could get it out of the snow and the ice and into the air, your crew wouldn't be having a good time leaving atmosphere and then being out of atmosphere. They'd all have to be in enviro suits just to do repairs, and then you'd have to get it repaired, you'd have to have it fueled, you'd have to have it armed, you'd have to get supplies. It's too big for the number of people that Valon could have gotten. It's too much. But now that the Republic knows that it is salvageable, I imagine that they may decide to send more resources to Hoth to salvage it. Doesn't need magnifying. Oh, right there. The little emoji with a magnifying glass. I get you. And then I imagine that if none of this gets salvaged or removed, it probably gets covered over with snow and ice over the next 3,000 years, so that by the time that Hoth gets used by the rebellion in... is it? Empire? Empire Strikes Back, I think. Yeah, because... No, hold on. New Hope is Yavin, isn't it? I don't remember. Anyway, by the time the original trilogy happens, I imagine that this area would have gotten covered over by drifts of ice and snow.
Excellent work. I knew we could trust you to fry those computers. It's good to know who the Republic can count on. I'll be sure to put in a word for you with Command.
I'm just happy that the Republic's secrets are safe.
That makes two of us. I can't stress how important your efforts have been. You've kept the Republic's secrets out of the pirates' hands, and the Empire's. Thanks to you, we can rest easier tonight.
This is the place I need to get into here. Not up there somehow. That heals the same amount, so I don't need to worry about it.
Stay alive.
It's a shame about the prototype. Blasted pirates must have mucked it up.
Those pirates ruin everything, don't they?
I won't lie, it's a setback. But working or not, the Null Cannon represents our best chance of beating the Imperials. You've hit the Empire where it hurts today. I've already contacted Republic Command. They know what you've done for us here, and I'll make sure the Senate knows it too.
Will you be leaving Hoth immediately?
Soon. I don't have to tell you how much I'm looking forward to frying some Imperial starships. We'll have the Null Cannon up and running in no time. You ought to come back and see her in action.
It's going to take months, sir. Maybe a year.
Engineers, always predicting the worst. Mark my words, we will have that Null Cannon shooting Imperials out of the sky before you know it. You did good work here. If I had a dozen men like you, this war would be over already.
Yes, because we're actually capable. I wonder how long it would take before the Empire got their hands on plans for null cannons. Probably not that long, especially not once they realised just how potent it is.
Stay alive.
Ooh, credits. Thank you. Now, this object, Tauntaun Lure, I did buy 5 of them, and I actually found Tauntaun fawns in Tauntaun nests. I found 3, and I used 3 because I've got 2 left. I can do simple maths. And none of them lured out a protective Tauntaun. The area was this region, where I found 1 nest. As such, I don't think that I can be bothered with the fruit method. Hold on, there's Chasing the Legend. Speak to Lieutenant Iresso in here. Further in, okay. I don't think... Oh, hey, it's Jedi Consular phase. Okay. I don't think I can be bothered with waiting out and doing the Tauntaun thing the slow way. So I'm just going to buy... spend the money to get Tauntaun mounts at the Aurek base. Probably not. I might not bother on stream, but that's how I'm going to do it, because it feels like maybe I just got bad luck the 3 times I tried it, but it seems like the odds of getting the thing to happen with the Tauntaun lure are super low.
Jedi, we've been waiting for you.
We wanted to thank you before we left. We owe you our lives, and I probably owe you my career.
It was worth it all to see Valon stuffed in a convict shuttle.
It was an honor to work alongside you. Go well.
Oh, forgot, the LT got a call. He's gone up to your starship to make a report. He said he'd meet you there.
Whatever anyone says, you're one of us now, Jedi. Best of luck.
Cool. Oh, no. Oh, wrong way. There we go. This is a lot of space. A very open area. A little tiny bit of carpet. I suppose that's a nice touch, you know? I wouldn't want to get out of bed on Hoth and put my feet on bare metal. You know, that would be a bad time. So it's good that there's carpet to get dressed on, I suppose. Not that I can see any personal you know, like containers. Like there are containers over here, but there's no like foot lockers or anything that people could put their personal effects in, like their clothes. Oh well. Seems like multiple small rooms would be easier to heat and keep warm than big open spaces like this. Obviously small rooms require more resources because you're night phase. Cool. You're dividing up spaces, you know, and you need like partitioning matter to create partitions, obviously. But yeah, if it were a small room this size or half this size, it would be possible for people's body heat to keep that warm. Now, whilst I was exploring, I did find that there were more quests in this region, so I'm going to do those, but I probably don't need to bother taxiing out, do I? I could probably just shuttle, so let's do that. Small rooms means more walls, yeah. I don't know whether walling material is at a premium for the Republic creating these bases, but I don't imagine it would be that difficult to get a hold of the material for it.
I've got good suppliers. Only the best sold here.
Back. So you need 20 of these things to get a mountain tauntaun, or you can use these to maybe get one of these. Can I buy multiple? No. There we are.
Feel free to browse.
Oops. I have a second mount. Yeah, I feel good about having the mountain tauntaun rather than the tundra tauntaun. Let's go. Is it Test vehicles. Oh no, I have got the shadow light as well, haven't I? Alright. This feels more appropriate than being on board a jet bike.
Reminder, mechanized travel is for official business only.
Now obviously buying the domestication data for 100,000 each for 20 of them is way more expensive than getting a 500 credit fruit. But the odds, I tried using 3 of them and none of them did anything. So it seems like it would take loads of time to get 20 domestication data. If you can seal off the rooms, though, it would save on heating, presumably. I'm going to need a sharpening block for my leather carving tool soon. Unless it's cheaper to just get a new tool, but that seems wasteful. Yeah, that does seem wasteful. I suppose it depends on... Do you need a special sharpening tool for a leather carving tool, or can you just use a whetstone? Because if you get a good quality whetstone, you can use that for all of your edged tools. Well, not scissors, but all your knives. Not sure if I can get a thing that would also sharpen regular knives. Well, I imagine a flat whetstone would be able to... You'd be able to use that to sharpen... Well, I don't know what the shape of a leather carving tool is. I need to look at one. Is this for cutting patterns into leather, or is it for dividing up leather? I think I can, but it's been a while since I looked. They look a bit like chisels. Cutting part is almost 90 degrees. Do you mean that it's like shaped like this and this is the cutting edge so that you can create like a divot? Or do you mean that the edge is about 90... No, that would be 90 degrees, wouldn't it? That wouldn't be a good cutting edge. You know there's an angle attachment so you can keep the angle right. That probably helps considerably. All of the images of tools... yeah, it's more acute than 90 degrees. So the cutting edge is... It's probably about 45 degrees. If that's the cutting edge, like if this... It's difficult to visualize with hands, but... Because all of the leather carving tools I can see have... Well, no, not all of them, but some of them have curved profiles. But as long as it's not like a really complex shape, it should be possible to sharpen on a whetstone. Like there are some carving tools that look like they're kind of divided. And you carve with like a sort of a crescent shape, which would be difficult to sharpen. But most of the others look like you should be able to manage it on a whetstone. I would look up, looks like slightly more than 45, 60 maybe. Okay, well, I'd have to have a look at your tool specifically, but from what I can see, they look a bit like chisels, and you can definitely sharpen chisels on a whetstone. So I would look for, I mean, I've got a whetstone. I haven't used it much, but I do have one, and it's a double-sided one. So one side is 800 grit and the other is like 1200, I think, or it might be 600, 1200. I don't remember. Anyway, so for one of these, so a leather sharpening tool, leather carving tool, sorry, leather sharpening. I don't think you'd have much luck trying to sharpen leather, would you? Yeah, I think you should be able to manage sharpening a leather carving tool on a whetstone, as long as you look up how to use a whetstone properly, and get a good idea of it, and then you've got a whetstone that you can use for all of your sharpening needs, not just for a leather carving tool. And I don't know how much you paid for your leather carving tool, but I think it would be a bit wasteful unless it was a really, really cheap one with like a really crap blade. But even then, like, if you get a whetstone, you can use it to sharpen all of your edged implements, pretty much, besides scissors. Lieutenant Cerro, the Hailstorm Brotherhood. He sent me some credits. Thank you. We're keeping an eye out for any resurgence of the Brotherhood, but it looks like they're going to stay scattered. Thanks again. You do nice work. I suspect I won't be on Hoth much longer. Meeting Captain Biron's got me thinking more about the war. It's getting harder and harder to order our forces against Imperials when I know at least one of them was an honourable man who could be reasoned with. I'm considering a transfer to the diplomatic corps. If there are Imperials out there who are willing to talk, there should be Republic citizens willing to listen. I mean, yeah, go for it. I don't know how many other Imperials there are out there who are willing to reason. Indeed, probably use it forever, so eventually it pays for itself. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd go for getting a whetstone. Look into it and make your own decision, but I went for a double-sided one, and it was definitely useful. And I wish you luck in your sharpening endeavors. Republic High Command send? No. You come? Yes. You help? And maybe.
High Command didn't send me, but I am here, and I might help you. Creating better defenses against the Empire is a worthy cause.
Jedi. Never expected to see one of your order out here. Is it true that the Force can guide you to people? I've got that ache in my gut says my boys are in trouble. At my age, you learn to trust your feelings.
What sort of trouble?
My best recon squad hasn't reported in, and I want to know what's happened. I sent them to check out some caves nearby. Should have been routine. Don't tell them I said it. They're the best we've got. Anything that stops them is a danger to the whole base.
Why would you not want any of your troops to know that you appreciate them?
If that's true, there's no time to lose. What do you need me to do?
If they're alive, help them. If not, we need to stop whatever found them. They last reported in from these coordinates. I'd start looking there. Those boys are counting on you.
Come in, Dina. Repeat, come in, Dina. Respond. Blast it! I enjoy irony, but this is just ridiculous. I'm organizing a strike to take out the White Maw's comm systems, but their transmitter keeps interfering with ours. I can't contact my men.
The White Maw is certainly persistent.
They're like bugs. You kill a few, or the whole nest springs up somewhere else. The communications network keeps the pirate factions coordinated. Every time they organize a deep space raid, we're buried in static. I can't respond. Can't receive updates on Imperial activities, nothing. Listen, I know you... Can you help? I'm worried the pirates have intercepted my signal and they'll move their comm systems before we can strike.
What can I do to help?
I need you to destroy their communications equipment, all of it. Make sure there's nothing left that they can rebuild. Be prepared for some heavy resistance. The pirates will do anything to protect their profits.
Pirates have fortune tellers now? That's bad news.
Joto ke Gwanga Chuska, Nu Chakichawa. Piti do Tenya go Kaka Jujo, da Biska Ku Paliya.
The White Maw are dangerous enough without superior technology at their command.
Kuchusa yo mata chitoya, nam kanoya choski nawi. Umpa hupa, jikilia umpasa dobiska.
An arc emitter that destroys anything that runs off a generator sounds an awful lot like the Null Cannon. Maybe the White Maw... Was it the White Maw who stole the Null Cannon? I don't remember. I know it was just pirates. Maybe they sold the information. Oh well. It makes sense that the technology is out there, though.
I might be able to help you with that.
Ni at ambumpa poshura mokili moklanki. Buka kampak nijit, tonka yiliska chanaga. Kuchusa yomata chitoya, asubwi mota uipa.
Sounds like a good plan. So, the Drift Hills Imperial Outpost, as the name implies, is an Imperial Outpost, so you can't actually get in there. So to get through, what you actually need to do, because this is inaccessible, to get into this area you have to go through this route. Oh, this is missing an arrow as well. That's annoying. If I wanted to get down here, I'd have to go around through Highmount Ridge to the Icefall Plains. And there's nothing to do there anyway, because it's an entirely Imperial zone and there aren't any quests, so it wouldn't be worthwhile. But if you're trying to explore the full place and you've never done it before, that's how you do it. Splendid. Where's that still got a marker? Oh well. Ooh. Yes, that's right. This region has higher level archaeology thingamies. I imagine that they're all... Yeah, there we are. All part of the same group, so if I attack one, they'll all turn their attention to me. Oh yeah, I don't have these on, do I? That would definitely help things. Well, maybe. I don't know how much it's actually helping. Are they healing themselves? That's why this is difficult. Would you go down, please? Wow. What a pain in the arse. If a player character of my level and gear quality was struggling against those droids, then yeah, I imagine that the Empire would really struggle against self-healing droids. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That'd be a thing. No, it doesn't look like it is. That's a relief. We haven't found any plans or irreplaceable parts yet. What other regions are the droids in, or is it just these areas? These are awfully small areas to be finding that many components in. Oh, there's an irreplaceable part. Splendid. Finally. This Tauntaun keeps making weird noises when I get it out. Oh, that's an intact droid plan. Huh. They're little objects on the floor that I'm supposed to be picking up. I thought I'd just get them out of droids. Really glad that damage doesn't interrupt interaction in this game. It's a real pain in the ass when it does in other games. Finding more irreplaceable parts now as well. That's nice. I'm not quite sure how our character knows which parts are irreplaceable. Presumably that would require more than passing familiarity with the specific types of droid with which we are dealing here. Because they're near one another. Close to each other. Or maybe I didn't separate them out far enough, because the last one went down pretty quickly, and when they're on their own, it seems like they drop quite easily. There we go. There's another. In fairness, these are quite small. It's not surprising that I missed them initially. I suppose they do have a flashing light on them, but it's quite difficult to see because the environment is quite bright because it's snow. I've got to go into lurk mode. Well, thanks for hanging out anyway. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that whatever it is that you've got to do now is goes well. Why is it just the patrol droids at the end? Oh, is it because they're RT-16 patrol droids rather than RT-11? It's coming over here. I'm done with parts. I'm just after plans now. Which is good. Because I don't have to fight these again. Does mean I'm still after teeny tiny little objects in the snow. Now I know the locations of these ones, but where is there another? Ah, there's one. Hiding. That one probably sells heals as well. Yep, that's self-healing. That was a lot of oinking. You hero, you make difference, you earn much. That was a... Not just was it a lot of oinking, but it was a lot of oinking for a relatively short sentence. don't need those. Huh. That's an improvement. And we're actually back on our lightsabers. Again, finally. Can I... Oh, there's nothing there anyway. Cool. What can I put in this? I can put that in. Sure, let's improve our critical rating. Turn it orange, if it wasn't orange already. Don't have any mods, tuning mods for it. Wonder where I'd get some. Oh well, that's fine. It's nice to be back on lightsabers. It has felt a bit weird being on a big, chunky gladius style of sword. Short sword.
Stand by for examination and suggested products. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Even if it did have kind of a electrical field on it, implying it was a power sword. It didn't feel like a Jedi's weapon. It felt like it was too brutish. It didn't feel like it was a weapon capable of, you know, dexterous use. Might as well put it on auto run, eh? Parasitic stem.
Didn't your mother ever tell you it's rude to interrupt a lady's beauty sleep? No matter. I'll re-enter the healing trance later. I'm Kaestas. Did you wake me for a purpose?
You're wearing a thing over your eyes. How on earth was I supposed to tell you were asleep?
My apologies. I thought you were in trouble.
The White Terror did this to me. It's a Wampa, but so much more. Imagine a battleship next to a starfighter. The creature was roving farther afield in its search for food. Its path would have taken it straight to an Ordolan colony. I had to try and stop it.
Yeah, fair.
A Jedi protects the weak. It was the right thing.
If only I'd succeeded. I escaped the creature using an old Force trick, but my wound prevented me from fighting on. Please, you have to stop it. If it finds a ready source of food, it won't leave till it is finished. The colony will be wiped out.
No creature scares me.
I wouldn't be much of a Jedi if I let a beast scare me off.
Overconfidence was my mistake. Take this sonic agitator into the creature's lair. The disturbances will draw him out into the open. Good luck to you.
Ah, that's both of them. Well, both of these. I imagine that that big-ass Wampa is what found the Republic scouts, eh? A lot of Wampa in here. Do Wampa spring from cover like that? weird behaviour for a Wampa. But then, they're not full-size Wampa, are they? These ones. Maybe they need tactics to compensate. Rescue Republic Scouts. So that implies that they're alive, and from what we've seen in Empire, where the Wampa freezes Luke into the ceiling, it implies that the Wampa keep some prey alive for future eating. Assuming that that holds true of the game. That bodes well for the scouts. But it could be the game misleading us into false hope. Which I kind of hope that they aren't doing. And I don't remember whether they have done before. Maybe. Headbutter is its type. Oh yep, these are some guys frozen in ice. Looks like it's difficult for them to breathe though. Given that
I thought we were dead.
Their airways appear to be blocked, but
Did the sergeant send you? I knew he wouldn't forget about us.
they are alive, which is good. There aren't quite enough for all 6 in one room. Just 5 of them.
Did the sergeant send you? I knew he wouldn't forget about
But
us.
that's probably because they need to account. They've got another room here, which maybe has 5 or more in it, and that's presumably so that multiple people can be doing the same quest. And there's probably some. Oh no, they wouldn't. They'd have this indicator over the ice room. If there were people to rescue in there as well, wouldn't they? I think they've got a surplus of them in both these rooms so that people doing the quest, multiple people doing the same quest at the same time, have resources to make use of, because this isn't an instanced area, which if it were, they wouldn't need to bother oh, nuts. Go away. Stop it. Go to sleep. Two, three, four. Oh, only 4 in this room apparently. Oh, and that's a group phase. Okay. Can I continue? No, I can't continue rescuing.
Sure glad to see you.
That's
I
a
figured
shame.
it was over for us.
Okay, I'm just going to headcanon it that there was only 6 of them to save, and as such, these guys aren't here. So I'm not just leaving them to their deaths. Don't know why they didn't just put a group phase barrier over the front, you know, over the front door, rather than just here. Because, like, then it would mean that all of the scouts that you find are then it could be just 6 of them, rather than what was it, 5 and 4, 9. I can count. Rather than having 9 of them. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to use a sonic agitator, aren't I? I came, I froze, I stopped talking apparently. Alright, let's get the agitator out and call the White Terror. Oh, there he is. That's quite a nice introduction, isn't it? Unique animation. There we go. Dealt with. Ooh, gourmet ration pack. Which Kaizen would appreciate a lot, apparently. Nice. His kindness you show. I don't think he cares about any of these gifts. Some of them are small influence gains. I'll have to. Oh, there's a moderate one. No, can't mount him here. All right. Oh yeah, enemies through here will be respawning, won't they? Because this isn't an instanced area. Alright, well let's hope that we get out quickly enough that we can avoid them. Oops, there's some right behind me. His type is burrower, apparently. Weak swarmer. Yeah, makes sense. Missed this one. But difficult to kill anyway. We can hand the quest. No, you don't hand in exploration quests, do you? You just complete auto. Oh no, hold on. Return. There we go. It's heroics that autocomplete, isn't it?
The very fact that you have returned tells me that you have defeated the White Terror. Well done.
Hey, I'm the best there is.
The pleasure was mine.
Your modesty does you credit. Thank you for your aid. There are many who now owe their lives to you. Now, I must return to my healing trance. Farewell.
I hope that she can sort herself out. Oh, is this a heroic? It is, isn't it? Fun. Splendid. Imagine these are the... yeah, there we go. Comes up with the quest information on it. It's just someone else got to it before I did. But that's what I'll need to be destroying. So there's one. That's convenient. They're all over the place. I'm impressed that the technology is capable of withstanding being out in the snow. We don't have a lot of technology that can withstand that kind of exposure. Healing time, I think. I wonder whether he's part of the group. Let's find out. Yes, he is. Okay, I guess we'll just pull everyone. The patrolling guy was probably going to get pulled anyway, in fairness. But still, I like to have more control over the fight than that, generally. Bopped on the head by Kaizen. That one's regenerated. Nice. That won't take long. And it's convenient for me. That looks like an object, yeah, Republic lockbox. That looks like an object that can be interacted with and is probably a quest objective for someone else, I imagine. Oh, there's another one. Splendid. They're all over the place. As I think I said before, or observed before, that's kind of a surprise. Where's that thing? That's the archaeology object, isn't it? Diamond crystal. Now it's mine. Leave me alone. Attack the big lizard instead.
Great job destroying the comm system. I'm organizing my men to round up the pirate technicians who escaped. And the best part? No interference. Thank you.
So what's this? Calibrate the diagnostic pad. Do I have to go somewhere else to do that? Oh no, yes I do. Okay. Guess we're doing that over there then. I wonder what these are. They look like construction. Yeah, they are. There we go. There are constructions on that. Mesa, I think, would be the geological term. If this is actually what I'm looking at on the map. It might not be. It doesn't appear as though there's a bridge here, but there is a bridge there. Maybe that's... no. really tell what's going on there. Imperial Garrison. So this is an Imperial area. How sharp of a drop is that? Not that much, but probably wouldn't have wanted to try and negotiate it over there. Ooh, red crystal. Lucent red crystal formation. Oh, nuts. Didn't take the stuff. There we go. I'm glad that it remembered that I'd mined it. Group phase, okay. I thought it might have been a Imperial phase, since this is an Imperial outpost. But no. We might end up going in there shortly. How's it going, cat thing? This just looks like a big stone block that's been carved. Now what am I doing? Oh, going back all the way over there. Cool, thanks game. That's worthwhile. What's the point in that? There weren't enemies to kill along the way. Alright. I'm sure that there's worse design in games. Just I haven't encountered design quite that bad in this game thus far. There's an outpost that has more quests, so I've got, oops, hello. That's a thingy that wants my attention. Oh, jeez, really? How did it get me off the speeder, or off the tauntaun? Please don't pull me off the tauntaun. I want to find it as well. Yeah, there we go. So here are some tauntaun fawn. And this is the only tauntaun nest I've found anywhere on the planet. Like, there may be more around here somewhere, but this is the only one that I've found. And when I tried each of the 3 fawns, the fruit didn't work. It didn't do anything. It didn't summon a territorial or protective tauntaun or whatever. to come and protect them, which I was supposed to probably kill, from which I would then maybe get a piece of Tauntaun domestication data. And you need 20 of them. It seems like a real big investment of time, with just the one nest, as far as I can tell. That doesn't always work. So yeah, no, I would just spend the money. For me, it was more worth my time just spending the money. That I'd accrued plenty of already. And I'm already making back. I mean, I got down to like 1,600,000, 500, 1.6 mil. Yeah, there we go. There's a couple more quests. I'll probably end up doing them next time. No, yeah, I will end up doing them next time because... Ah, shit, I've got to go up, haven't I? It's almost 3 hours, so I'll finish this quest and hand the things in, and then end things there, I think. And then next time on Monday, well, hopefully on Monday, depends on the router. I had to struggle with my internet to convince it to... Yeah, struggle with the router, I think it was, to convince it to give me a stable connection today. I mean, the router is pretty old at this point. It's quite old, and with used every day, which I think routers tend to be built to be expected. But they also build technology with planned obsolescence in, so that's not great. But it's to be expected, and we may need to acquire a new... what am I after? Is it this thing? A new router at some point soon. In the near future. Oh, there's a group of them. Great. Cannot see. All right. Why can I not see him? Okay. Well, at least I'm not in combat anymore, so bugger that guy. Anyway, yes, hopefully on Monday I'll be just finishing off taking the 3 quests that are here, doing those, finishing off on Hoth, and then moving on to wherever is the next planet. I don't know. Okay, so with this formation of crystal, you can actually definitely tell that this is blue crystal. But with the earlier outcrops, or geodes, no, not quite geodes, but a geode is like a hollow sphere, or yeah, like spheroid, a hollow mass of gemstones that are usually, well, you usually see them surrounded by rock because they occur in rock, and then people dig them out of rock in the form of like a sort of orb of stone, and then they crack that and open it, and you get 2 halves of a geode, or pieces of geode. What I'm trying to say is a geode is sort of like inward oriented, whereas that's not. Very much not. So I don't have the right word to describe it accurately.
Stand by for examination and suggested product. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Don't need to talk to Kerak, but I do need to talk to Gavon Crowan.
I can't believe you got him back safe. Thank you. There's nothing worse than telling a family their loved one's been killed. You saved me from that pain.
I'm just glad they're home.
They wouldn't be if not for your help. You've made an old officer very happy. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Alrighty. Back to the cantina so I get rested XP. Although I'm nearly at 75, and I think 75 is max level. So it's just getting better gear from here on out, I think. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. As I said, I'll be back on Monday. Oh, there's some post. I'm not quite done yet. Chief Engineer Arim, hard at work. I'm finally away from Hoth, and I've got a whole team helping with the repairs to the Null Cannon. Fixing this thing won't be easy, of course, but we're not about to give up. Living through that icy nightmare kind of put things in perspective, you know? Thanks for all your help. Glad I could help. And that's that for today. Yes, so, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. That's it for today. I'll be putting this up on my YouTube, Vanilla Jester Gaming, tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, I'll start putting it online when I get up, but from that point, it takes a few hours. So, assuming you're in the same time zone as I am, probably tomorrow afternoon or evening is when it'll turn up. You can also find me on Twitter at Vanilla Jester. I tweet stuff. Most frequently at the moment it seems to be I tweet when I go live. So if you aren't sure whether I'm going to go live or not, because I know that my schedule says 8 PM and I am not really keeping to that these days. Maybe the tweets are helpful. I don't know, I'm just going to keep doing them. And if you want to talk to me on Twitter, please do so. So, I hope to see you on Monday. Until I do, I hope you have a good time, and goodbye.